Hey guys, it's Maria. Thanks so much for watching. So this is kind of like the part 2 of the first video I made, just mindsets about money that I've had change, changing mindsets. And the first change for me was really connecting to abundance and developing an abundant mindset. Now you can research tons about that. But for me, it was really just connecting to the abundance I have in my life right now, being grateful for it, and truly and firmly believing that God has so much for us, that He is able to do anything, that He is able to do above and beyond what we can even think. And if we have a need, that He can meet it. To me, that is having an abundant mindset. Now, I know some people are like, well, you can't just sit around and be like, oh, I have an abundant mindset and abundance is coming into my life. And you're right, you can't. So kind of the second lesson I've been learning on that, because I feel like it really is a two-step process, is there's definitely things you have to do. There's steps you have to take to make it manifest in your life, to make it a reality in your life. But I will say that it is the first step, like really switching your mind frame, really connecting in that way, being grateful and removing limiting mindsets, saying that there is more. I can have more. I can be more. And one of the first quotes that really shifted me and shifted my mindset was, I think it was Charles Schwab. And he said, if you don't have much, perhaps you have not become much. If you want more, you must become more. So that was really heavy for me, but it really made me look at my life and examine my life and say, I can't just sit around complaining that I don't have enough, that I don't have much. I need to take the steps to be more, to become more, to be a type of person that people are willing to hire, people are willing to, put their trust in, a business owner that people want to work with, like those kind of things, really growing yourself. So that's something I've really been learning, just growing myself, reading books, learning, studying those things. And then another interesting thing that happened to me recently was, I was really asking that question, like, is there abundance in the universe? Like, can we have it? And I was in this beautiful, I go for a walk in this area. It's gorgeous. It's really pretty. It's very well taken care of and maintained. And there were these like troughs of roses, like rose bushes. And it was the beginning of the spring. And oh my God, like you've never seen so many roses in your life. And not just little dinky roses. I mean, they were like this big, giant. I mean, you couldn't even see green. You couldn't see the leaves. Just giant roses, and it smelled amazing. It was just like the most amazing sight. I walked a couple more steps and I saw this tree, this fruit tree, this orange tree, and it was like heavy with fruit. It was these giant oranges, and it was just dripping with fruit. And so I was like, okay, I get it. There is abundance in the universe. I can see it in nature. Like, it was like God was like, is there abundance in the universe? And he was like, yes. Yeah, there is. And then I thought about it a little deeper, and I was like, well, what's the difference between this place here where there's these beautiful roses or the fruit tree and my yard, my house? What's the difference? Well, the difference obviously to me was, in this place where all the roses were, and this, community where I go for a walk, it's very well maintained. I mean, there's a crew out there every other day, and they are pruning and trimming and cleaning and gardening, and there's like a drip system for each root system, and it's very well taken care of. And because it is so well taken care of, the result is abundant. The fruit of it is amazing. And my yard, my sprinkler system's broken. I don't have a drip system. Like, by the time summer comes around, everything's dried and shriveled. And the care isn't there. So I really applied that to our lives. And it's like we you know, you can say there's abundance in the universe and you can claim abundance, but the only way it's going to manifest in your life is if you are doing those careful things every day to create that life of abundance. You know, they say that, you know, we talked about the poverty mindsets. Well, there's also such a thing as poverty habits and success habits. So for me, really learning and educating myself in, you know, what are successful habits? What is the difference? What's the connect between the abundant people and the maybe not so abundant people? Like, what are they doing differently? And if you research, you know, successful habits, the habits of successful people, you will see that there are some really key and clear differences. You know, and that's really where I've been trying to learn and study and kind of like, okay, well, what was I doing in my life that was, you know, that is not making it how I need it to be? So I was learning a lot about time management, you know, waking up early, you know, hitting the gym, like just making habits in my life that are going to produce the results I want. And a lot of times it's really, it takes effort, it takes work, it takes diligence, you know. I laugh about this sometimes because people are like, well, there's morning people and there aren't morning people. And I used to be one that said that all the time. I was not a morning person. Now I get up really early because I want to achieve certain goals in my day. I have time management strategies. I'm learning all these things. I feel like I can say I am a morning person now, but I honestly feel like that's a myth. I don't really feel like there's morning people and not morning people. I think it's just people who value their efficiency and value accomplishing things enough to get out of bed, to drag their butts out of bed early enough to make it happen and get it done. If you can figure out how to get your day done without getting up early, I'd say go for it. Like, I'm all for that. For me, I have had to really create change in my life and to really reach the goals I want to reach. I've had to make changes in my habits. I have to get up early. You know, I've been learning about time management. I've been learning to set goals. I've been learning to write things down and stick them in front of me, you know, to visualize where I want to be. And those things are all really important. Anyways, so for me, the connect I really had was that, you know, if you see someone with abundance and wealth and all these things in their life, or a really happy relationship, or really wonderful, happy kids, or whatever, they're probably doing things. They're working hard. They're doing those things to get that, to achieve those results. Someone looks really fit. They're working hard to be that way, you know? So it's not about just sitting around and being like, oh, there's abundance in my life. No, you have to be strategic. You have to work hard. Even with money and finances, like, it's really important to budget, you know? Like I said, you know, I was like, oh, I have this abundant mind, so I'm not going to fear, and I'm just going to swipe the credit card and everything like that. So that was fine and good until you look at your bank account and you're like, yikes, you know, I only have this much money in the bank. Okay, so yes, there is abundance, but I need to have good habits and careful habits. And, you know, that's why all the finance experts, they're always talking about budgeting and using cash and working within your budget, because those are habits that you need to be successful. Another really great book is The Magic of Thinking Big, and he talks about our life is like seasons. You know, you sow, you reap, and if you sow faithfully, you work hard, and you sow all that, you know, you do all that work, then in fall you reap the harvest. You know, he said life is like that. It's sowing and reaping, sowing and reaping. If you work hard, you get what you need, you know. Life is like that. It gives it to you. But he says sometimes, you know, you did all the work, you worked super hard, and right before the harvest, a hailstorm strikes. Does that mean you shouldn't have done all that hard work? Does it mean you shouldn't have, you know, taken that time and done all that work? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that's life. Life sometimes happens. But if you've been faithful, if you've been careful, if you've been saving, then hopefully you have, you know, a savings and you can get through that one winter, and then you get back on it the next season. You go again, you clean it up, you plant, you sow, you know, you do all those right things, all those faithful good habits, and sure enough, you reap that harvest again. Anyways, just some thoughts, things I've been learning about finances, reaching goals, yada yada. Have a great day, guys. Bye.